Alright, just wanted to do a quick video on, well, maybe not so quick, but on these sawmill blade knives and why they're so expensive. I spend a lot of time on these things. A lot of different materials are going into them. You know, got the sawmill blade itself, got these mosaic pins. Trying to get a better shot of this mosaic pin. The regular brass pins, and the tiger walnut, tiger maple handles that have that really cool grain. But plus the stamps. I mean, I got a lot of different things involved in these. Even the sheaths, different materials in the sheaths, the alligator, the leather, the pins, the rivets, the treatments. But I wanted to start by going to the sawmill blade. I had to hunt this sawmill blade down and pay for that. I got money invested in that sawmill blade. And don't mind the mess in the garage, but got a steam box going on right here. But these are some of the blades I cut out of the sawmill blade. In order to cut these out, I'm using these angle grinder and these discs, which are a couple bucks a piece, and I'm going through 2 on the most part for these knives. I mean, you get into the bigger knives, I'm going through 3. And after I cut them out, I bring them over here to the belt sander. And this is an industrial belt sander. I hooked me up a squirrel cage to suck some of that dust out of the garage. I was getting some bad dust in here, and wearing a mask is a pain in the butt, and it makes it a lot easier using the squirrel cage. I mean, look at these belts. These belts are expensive a piece. They're like $3 a piece, and I go through, I mean, you see how many I go through, and a lot of these belts are used. This is a 36 or 60 grit, 50 grit, something like that. But I don't have too many of them. I'm gonna have to go buy some more. I got 120, 220, 3. I had 320, but 400 grit, and you know, it's a lot of work going through all these belts and changing it out and standing here at this grinder profiling them. Then I had to buy this bench press drill because, you know, doing it by hand got to be a pain. It was a lot easier using this press, this drill press. I was buying these expensive titanium bits. They're like $30 almost a piece. Luckily I found out that the Cobalt, a different brand Cobalt. I was using a cheap Cobalt, but I was blowing through the Cobalt fast, so I spent $30 a piece, like $27 on them bits. And you know, this is a knife I'm starting on right now. It's nothing big. It's gonna have the antler handle. I'll show you that when it's done, but it's pretty rough right now, and I just set that aside for now. And you know, I got the oil that I'm pouring on the blade to keep it cool while I'm drilling it out. I mean, I don't go through much oil at all, but I just wanted to go over all the materials and everything involved. And then you have the handle material, which I had to make an extra trip about 45 minutes away to get this handle material, and I got a pretty huge piece of handle material there. That was supposed to be for another project, but you know, it works out. I'll end up using it. It's got some real nice grain down here at this end. Beautiful grain. Cutting them out and turning them into scales and sanding those, timing those, and you know, here's some tiger walnut. You can't really tell. It's so dirty and rough that you can't really tell the grain pattern on that one, nor this one. I mean, you can maybe see a little bit of the striping in it. You know, I got my handle materials. Then we go into the propane. I'm using quite a bit of propane when I'm heat treating these blades, and you know, the oil to quench them also. Propane's like what, $25 per tank, and it don't last a whole hell of a lot of time. And you know, then we get into the sheath material. Well, get into the sheath material, and I'm paying $100, $120 at Tandy. I let my membership expire, so I got $120 in the leather, and then $300. And the gator, if you don't believe me, check the price of gator. You know, Google gator or look up gator. It is not cheap, and people don't seem to understand that. They want gator sheaths, and you know, they don't want to pay $150 for a knife with a gator sheath. The sheath alone is worth $150, but you know, that's why I wanted to make the video and go over all that. The rivets, I paid $6 for a bag of these little copper coated rivets. Then I got the artificial sinew, the needles. I've got a coating that goes over the back of the leather, sorry, but you can see it's got a nice finish to it. That's from the coating that I purchased in order to treat the back of the leather, make it nice and smooth. And you know, plus the dye, I dyed the leather myself, and then after you dye it, you have to put a clear on the dye. Well, the dye, you're talking $25–30 a bottle, probably about 25 on the average. That's what I spend. Sometimes I get it on sale for 20. But you know, then you got the glue, because these are glued. When I cut these out, I cut them out to shape that I want, and I glue them on here. And after I glue them, I stitch them. And my industrial stitcher, I paid $400 for that machine, and that is number 90, I forget it's the number, 90 pound Dacron is what it's called. It's pretty strong Dacron thread, but most of the time I'll use the Dacron to adhere the to sew the gator. And you know, so you got the glue and the thread and my time, of course. But I bought these bigger rivets to go through the thicker leather. When it gets to be pretty thick, those short ones, they just don't work. But that's what I got involved in these. I mean, there's a lot of work, a lot of time, you know, a lot of money. I mean, I haven't figured out what I'm paying per knife to make them, but you know, I know you lose time when you're making something your own time. You don't make a whole lot, but that's why I'm asking $150 a knife, and right now I've got them down to $125. But I just wanted to post this on YouTube and, you know, let you guys know that, you know, these are quenched knives, then heat treated, and the handles are put on. That's another thing, the handle material. I put the handle material on with JB Weld. I mean, it's like $5 for the JB Weld. But when you're doing 10 knives, you go through it pretty quick. And so it's JB welded in between the scales, and then brass pinned. So they're not going anywhere. And these knives are going to last forever. The edge on these things is ridiculous. I sharpen these up some. And if I had an extra free hand, I'd show you how sharp these are. But, you know, I don't know how well this will work. But, you know, they're not dull. They're not dull at all. That's pretty sharp. But again, I just wanted to show you a video and tell you everything that's involved in these. But hope you liked the video, and if you're interested in a knife, let me know. I'm on Roby Custom Knives on Facebook, or you can look up my YouTube. Of course, if you're on here, you already know what my YouTube is. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it.